Okay. Baseball is back after a weekend with no games after the wild card series ended. We're back with the division series games. It kicked off with Oakland and Houston in Los Angeles, and then we had the Yankees and Rays in San Diego. And we'll do a little review of those games, and then we'll preview a bit. Um, Laid back, relaxed, of course. So, I got my water, no chocolate milk today. Haven't gone for my run yet today, so I haven't earned my chocolate milk like I had on the last video. But yeah, we'll do a little review. We'll make fun of managers who we thought should have done different things, even though we have no experience at the job, which is always fun. We'll do a little bit of that, and we'll get on with our days. Braves Marlins kicks off in about an hour and a half, so hopefully I can edit this and get it through before that game starts. Otherwise, I'm going to be in for a long day. So let's start with the Houston and Oakland game, which had a lot of home runs. And I want to start with the format. So as we know, there are no days off in the division series or the championship series. And I think we saw that, like, kind of the effect of that yesterday. So Chris Bassitt and Lance McCullers Jr. were starting, and both of them didn't have their best stuff. And like what I see here, like in the top of the fourth, Chris Bassitt gives up a home run to Bregman, and to a batter later, he gives up a home run to Carlos Correa. So you'd think in a playoff game where every game is a must-win, that if you finish an inning, your starter gives up 2 home runs in an inning. That's 3. You've given up 3 in 4 innings. You probably wouldn't send him out for the 5th inning in a normal year, but of course he did. And in the 5th, he gives up a single to George Springer and another single to Jose Altuve. And then they finally take him out for Yusmeiro Petit, who somehow gets out of a first and second jam with no out. So I think in any other year, we would have seen someone else come out for the 5th inning other than Chris Bassitt. And same with Lance McCullers Jr. So he leads off the bottom of the 4th, gives up a home run to Matt Olson, and then a single to Chris Davis and a double to Robbie Grossman. So it's 2nd and 3rd with no out in the bottom of the 4th, and Dusty Baker just keeps him in. And it worked out somehow. He gets out of the jam. He strikes out Laureano. He gets Sean Murphy the ground out, and he strikes out Tommy La Stella. But I think in any other year, you see someone come out of that bullpen. Maybe someone like Christian Javier in that spot. I don't know, because you'd probably want some length from there. But I don't know. It's interesting because then McCullers is back out for the bottom of the 5th. Like, I think any normal year, he would have been taken out in the bottom of the 4th. But even then, after that rough inning, even with getting out of the jam, they sent him out for the bottom of the 5th again. And Marcus Semien reached on an infield single, and they finally took him out then. So I don't know. I think the managers are still kind of feeling out how to attack this postseason. Now, in this scenario, it didn't actually really hurt them incredibly, because Yusmeiro Petit was able to bail out Chris Bassitt, and Lance McCullers Jr. somehow got out of that jam. But I think it's going to be something to watch out for in future games. Another note about that game. So Lance McCullers Jr. was acting like the ball had a remote control and someone was flying it out of the ballpark. Like he couldn't believe that some of the balls he was giving up were going for home runs. Meanwhile, he was serving up a full 5-course meal out there. He's serving up meatballs, cookies, cupcakes, some roast beef. He's giving out missiles. Like, looking at Baseball Savant here, Matt Olson's home run, 109 off the bat. Sean Murphy's home run, 105 off the bat. Chris Davis's 104 off the bat. He was giving up absolute bombs. And there's a bunch of other hard hit balls in there. And he was acting like the sky was falling, that it was impossible that these balls were going out. I mean, they were just absolute missiles. Lance, learn how to read a ball off the bat, buddy. So that was quite amusing. I enjoyed that. And then, Carlos Correa. I don't think anyone likes this guy except Astros fans. I tweeted out after he absolutely whiffed on a Chris Bassitt meatball that he probably should have hit 500 feet. I believe that was in the second inning. Let me check. I'll show the video clip as well. Yeah, it was second inning. Hanging slider he should have sent to the moon, and he missed it. Like I was feeling myself a little bit. I was happy that it happened. I tweeted out that he's the softest tough guy since Jonathan Papelbon, which I still stand by. Learn how to talk some trash, or just don't say anything, and let your game do the talking. Like if you didn't say any of that stupid stuff that you did before or after the Minnesota series, and you came out and hit 2 home runs like this, and you're doing your little ear thing, well, you can't hear me, or I can't hear the haters. That'd be way better than saying stupid stuff and then doing the same thing. Sorry, Carlos. But at this point, I'm honestly kind of rooting for the Astros to get into the ALCS against the. I guess I'm rooting for an Astros Yankees ALCS. I wouldn't mind if the Rays and A's play. Like I like Oakland a lot. A big money ball guy, as I've said often on here. But I mean, the storylines in the Yankees Astros ALCS is unbelievable. Then you run the possibility of getting the Dodgers Astros World Series. Oh, that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean, we'll see if Oakland can come back today, tie it up, but we'll move on to the Yankees and Rays games. And I don't have a lot to say about this. I mean, it was a good game up until the 9th. And then it kind of got out of hand, obviously. Like I said in the Astros Athletics game, I think managers are still feeling out how they're going to attack this postseason, because it was a 1-run game heading into the 9th, and John Curtis comes in instead of Nick Anderson or even Diego Castillo. And I even think most Rays fans would have preferred Pete Fairbanks in that spot. I know as a Jays fan, I would be I'm more scared of Pete Fairbanks than John Curtis. But I mean, John Curtis came in regardless, and it didn't really work out. Gave up five runs, including Giancarlo Stanton grand slam. So the reason why it could work out in the end, but say you throw in Nick Anderson 1, 2, 3 inning. It's a 1-run game in the bottom of the 9th, and you force Aaron Boone to use Aroldis Chapman. And we all know that Chapman is not necessarily gives you the a stress-free inning all the time. But even if they do lose, that you still made the Yankees use Chapman, right? Which puts Aaron Boone on the spot in game 2 if he's going to go to him. If they're just in certain game scenarios, like say the Yankees are down 1 run, what would Aaron Boone do? I don't know. It's kind of like a cat and mouse game. Like if you use Nick Anderson, you force the Yankees to use Chapman, which will affect his availability later on in the series. Or you don't use Nick Anderson. You hope that you can still get out of the 9th, and then you have Chapman, but which obviously didn't happen. So that I think that's going to be interesting to see. Like it could work out. Like say they use Nick Anderson yesterday, but they still lose. Say in game 2, they're up by 1 run in the 9th. They bring Nick Anderson in and he closes the game out. That puts him out for game 3 most likely because there's no off day. And if the Rays have, it's a save situation or there's a big spot in like the 7th, 8th inning, and you would normally put in Nick Anderson in that spot, he's not going to be available. So who knows? We won't be able to know if these decisions are smart or dumb. And you can't even, because we don't know the rest of the series yet. And even in then, you can't just say that a decision was dumb based on what happened in the series. I'm kind of rambling right now, but it's definitely interesting. Just the cat and mouse game between managers that's going to take place in this playoffs. But I definitely prefer having off days. I just want to see Nick Anderson get pitch in the 9th, shut the Yankees down 1-2-3, and I want to see a 1-run game in the bottom of the 9th. I think that's better than, as a neutral fan, I guess. If you're a Yankee fan, you love seeing Giancarlo Stanton hit a grand slam. With that said, I mean, the Yankees have been hating on Giancarlo Stanton since he became a Yankee, essentially. So don't most of you stop acting like you were with him for the entire time. You guys didn't like him for the longest time, even though he's proven that he's a great hitter. Now he's injury concerns, but he's proven that he's a great hitter. So check yourself. All right. I guess we'll do a little preview then for today. I don't really have much of a preview. I mean, the Marlins and Braves game. Braves obviously have a far superior lineup. And Starlin Marte, unfortunately, isn't playing because he got hit on the hand in Chicago. So, I mean, I would lean the Braves. But if the Marlins can take 1 of 2 in the first 2, you love that pitching matchup in game 3. Kyle Wright against Sixto Sanchez, you love that if you're a Marlins fan. And then you're up 2-1 if Sixto can deal. So I'm leaning Braves in this series. I think you can go 4 or 5 potentially. I don't know, but that Braves lineup is so good. So I'll lean Braves. Next game, Houston, Oakland. We got Framber Valdez, who had an unbelievable relief appearance in Minnesota. I think he went 5 innings. That's saved. Now, obviously, it was only 3 games set. So, and you had the off day, and Minnesota just chokes in the postseason. So it's not even like a game 3 mattered because there wasn't one because Minnesota doesn't win in the playoffs. Get to a game 3, that would have completely saved their bullpen for game 3. So that was impressive. And then we got Sean Manaea starting for Oakland. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't have much analysis on this. I mean, it's a baseball game. Some team's going to win, all right? A team's going to win. At the end of the day, team always wins. This isn't football. But, I mean, Oakland has to win this game. Absolutely. If Carlos Correa hits a home run again today, I might lose my mind. I might lose it. Then we got Yankees, Rays. Now, the evening slate of games, a lot of fun. Tyler Glasnow and Walker Buehler pitching on the same day, legal in a couple of countries. That's illegal in a couple of countries. Too much filth. It's going to be – I'm super interested in what the Yankees are going to do with their pitching today. So they're starting Davy Garcia, who is 21. We're the same age for one more day. I I don't think he's going to pitch more than 4 innings. I think what they should do is Garcia and then maybe someone like Jordan Montgomery. Like, if you can try and get 6 innings out of Garcia and Montgomery, that's ideal. That's kind of what the Jays did, what the Jays did in Game 1 against Tampa with Shoemaker and Robbie Ray, righty-lefty, and it worked out well. So I think if you can try and combine for 6 innings between Garcia and Montgomery, you're in a really good spot. It forces Kevin Cash to make the decision like the 3rd or 4th inning if he's going to take out one of his lefty bats, like Joey Wendell, for example. Like, are you going to burn a bench spot in the 4th inning, like bring in Mike Brasso? So that should be interesting to watch out for. I don't know what they're planning to do. They haven't really, like, obviously they're not going to say that they're going to bring in Jordan Montgomery after Garcia, but I tend to think that's what they're going to do, because I mean, it worked for the Jays. Obviously they didn't win that game, which is unfortunate because I'm a Jays fan. But yeah, and Chapman didn't pitch yesterday, so you have him available for the 9th, I suppose. Britton and Chad Green can go on back-to-back days, and if you have the lead, you're up 2-0, and sure, you won't have your relievers, but like for Game 3, but I mean, you're up 2-0. You'd rather not have your relievers available for tomorrow, and be up 2-0 than not. So, it'll be interesting. And then Tyler Glasnow is just a treat to watch. He's a treat to watch. I think last time he was against the Yankees, he went 6 innings, no earned runs. So that should be a lot of fun. And then the last game of the day. This one's going to be a lot of fun. Best series, in my opinion. Yankees Rays is a lot of fun. All the matchups are fun, except Marlins Braves is kind of But I'm sure there'll be some fun moments in that series anyways. And the Walker Buehler is, he just lives up to the postseason so much. I think my favorite moment of Walker Buehler was actually when Acuna hit that grand slam in 2018 when he was a rookie. And the thing that was so impressive for me was, so I'm just looking at the play-by-play. So that was in the 2nd inning. He gives up the grand slam to Walker Buehler, and I remember that game so well for some reason, because I remember that there's a bad strike call on the 3-0 pitch, and Acuna was and the Braves were mad that he didn't get the walk, and then he hits a grand slam. But then he was able to recover, and then 1-2-3 in the 3rd, 1-2-3 in the 4th, 1-2-3 in the 5th. So he gives up the grand slam. This is his first time in the playoffs, and then just 9 up, 9 down. That he lives for the playoffs, which I love, and he gets fired up about it too. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. And the Padres lineup is just a great matchup. Like, Buehler versus Tatis and Machado is just gonna be awesome. And now the Padres, nothing's certain yet at the time that I'm doing this, but it appears Clevenger is going to pitch Game 1, which is not what we would have expected on the weekend, for example. But apparently his like bullpen and side sessions have been going pain-free, so he might pitch 1 now. I don't know how long he can go, how, like, maybe 5? I don't know. But I'm excited for this game a lot, so should be a lot of fun today. Good baseball, 4 games. Now, if you're listening to this and you're subscribed to my main channel, I would like to let you know that the highlights today most likely will not be on time. I have practice, so I will be up late making them, but they will be up at some point. So if you're wondering where they are, the reason why is because I have practice, and I will be late coming home to do the final 3 games of the day. So there's a chance Marlins Braves gets up on time, and then Astros A's, Yankees Rays, Dodgers Padres will all be up late, but they'll be up at some point. So should be a good day. Enjoy the baseball today. Hopefully you can like skip work or something. Maybe like don't go to Zoom class. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to Zoom class, but I'm also not telling you not to. So let's do it. Let's have a good day.